Ladies and gentlemen, vinyl enthusiasts from around the world, fellow music lovers, you're about to witness history in the making. We are beyond thrilled to welcome you to this video. We're here with the guys at VMG and myself. I'm representing AAGS. And we're about to drop the needle on a groundbreaking announcement that will rock the world for vinyl collecting. Before we get into that, we just want to discuss a little bit about the vinyl industry. We know that the vinyl resurgence has happened. It has been going on for years now. People love collecting vinyl, listening to vinyl. Vinyl is amazing. And so we see that with new record stores popping up all over. Used sales are going up. New sales have surpassed CDs last year. Since the 1980s. So, this is happening, but there's something new that's happening to the vinyl resurgence, and that is a new category of collecting, and that is music collecting in general. And we're here to talk about vinyl collecting, and by collecting, I mean like graded, slabbed vinyl. So you may have already gotten your vinyl slabbed, you may be on the fence, or you may be in the camp of, look, vinyl is meant to be listened to. One day, hopefully you change your mind. But as you can tell, I love listening to vinyl as well. These guys love listening to vinyl. Music is a huge part of my life personally. We understand, though, that there are certain things that need to be slabbed. And we're not the only ones. There are multiple other companies that have gotten on the bandwagon to grade and slab vinyl also. And so what are we here to talk about today? Well, VMG has I'm looking through the internet. I saw VMG's website and saw their slabs, and their slabs are gorgeous, and they do a really good job at what they do. Us here at AAGS, we were for the longest time the first vinyl record grading company. We were the only guys in town, and so now we're starting to see these other companies pop up. It's part of the reason why we're talking today is there's change in the collectibles industry, and it's getting ready to change even more. So picture this: you have VMG, we have here Paul, Chad, and Mike, and they are, who have been collectibles a long time. I'll let them discuss some of their past. But then also we have, our years of doing record grading and digital transfers and things like that for vinyl. Just imagine combining the ingenuity of the VMG patented Hinged Case with AAGS's pioneering of vinyl grading, encapsulation services, and take that and just take it to the stratosphere. So that's what we're going to announce today. I don't know, gentlemen, if you want to make the announcement or if that's something that you would want me to do.
No, I mean, we are super excited. When we first started getting into the idea of doing this some 2-3 years ago, we knew Andrew Hoffman was the only guy in town that was doing it. We actually sent some of our records over to AAGS and had them soft graded before you were encapsulating. Our goal as a company at Vintage Media Grading is to be the provider of everything that any vinyl collector would want. So physical grading, but also audio grading, digital backups, NFTs. We hope our website, which is undergoing some major renovations and will debut or re-debut in the next couple of days, is the center of the community of vinyl grading. Articles, podcasts, message boards, just a community for everyone to come together. And we thought really there was no better person to get involved with than Andrew and AAGS. because if you're going to do this, you need expertise, and you need to prove to the world that you know what you're talking about, and that people can trust you to objectively grade their albums, that a third party is trustworthy in allowing people to trade and sell their albums across the ocean, from continent to continent, on the internet, in person. And we thought there's no better way to kind of maximize our company than to work with AAGS and their experts. And so we're super excited for everything that's going to be happening in the next few weeks, few months, few years.
Absolutely. So I think that this relationship is a match made in heaven. And what do we mean by relationship? Well, we're here to announce that VMG and AAGS are merging. So we are going to be one company moving forward, VMG, and we're ready to rock and roll with this for sure. It's taking in so many different strengths. We're no longer just going to be a slabbing company, as you brought out, Mike. It's a full service company for people who want to collect and slab and do that thing, but then also for people who just want to collect and listen to the records and have clean records, or to be able to buy and sell records that are going to be listened to again in the future, and be able to do so with the comfort of mind that they've been third party graded or soft graded in that case. So we're really excited about this relationship. So one of the things we want to do now in this part of the video is just go over the strengths of VMG and AAGS, and that way we can just kind of show what we can bring to the table. Do you guys want to go over some of the VMG strengths?
Yeah, let's do it with some visuals. So I think the people watching, at the end of the day, they're going to want to see the product and see what we're talking about. One of our strengths is certainly our cases. That was something we spent a long time designing, engineering, going back and forth to make sure it's perfect. It's the way that we're collectors first and foremost. So how would we want to store our collection? So it's visible, it's easily stored, doesn't take up a lot of space. And we came up with, we have two different case designs, actually three different case designs. One is hinged, one is just for if you want the vinyl and sleeve, or sealed. And we have the ability to grade and slab single albums, double albums, possibly triple albums, depending on the thickness, and very thin albums. So we should be able to capture a large percentage of the vinyl out there. We'll have a case for it to safely, securely slab it. So without further ado, you want to grab one of the cases and we can explain. So this is our single slab case, sealed. It's noted on the label that it's sealed. We grade 3 characteristics of the album, have subgrades: the cover, the seal, and the spine for sealed albums, then a overall grade. So this one, this Third Eye Blind album here, I'm going to flip it around so that you can see the thickness of the case. And all of our cases are ultrasonically sealed. They are full of material,
PETG material.
PETG material, which is beauty of that is that it ultrasonically seals, but also does not easily glue together, so no one could open this and glue it back up. And perfectly clear.
They're sleeved.
No.
Oh, there is an inner sleeve here too. That's worth discussing. So again, like when we said how would we want to store our collection, and we want that inner sleeve to, there's any little movement there, we don't want friction and rubbing against the hard case. So we have that inner sleeve to protect the shrink on the sealed album, and it's also on the vinyl, which you'll see shortly in the open albums. One other, I'll get into it on the next label, actually.
Yeah, I'm going to jump in and say something real quick because the AAGS cases are handmade acrylic cases. We have to hand weld them. Something that's notable about the VMG cases now moving forward is we can increase our capacity, right? So we're going to, yeah, we can slab so many more records and have so much better consistency. So that equals better turnaround time and quality for our customers.
Absolutely, and lower costs.
Right.
Because they can be mass produced and easily done. It becomes the most affordable option for album grading on the market. And one other thing to mention is that they, with the ultrasonic sealing, they're still ventilated. So as to prevent, microorganisms from growing inside and spreading mold. So you do want to make sure that your cases are ventilated, even if they're just micro-ventilated. There are no open holes in them to allow dust to get in, but they are ventilated with microscopic holes to allow for breathability so that microorganisms don't grow.
Okay. This is a second different option or label that we have. This is an open album, but you'll see it's in a single slab here. The difference is this is called vinyl and sleeve. This album's open, so if some customers don't want the hinged clamshell option, this is a more affordable option where the vinyl is slabbed in sleeve. The difference on this label is the stripe. So we don't want any confusion in the marketplace if it's sealed or an open vinyl and sleeve. The stripe here is black to blue, which will over time, we expect this to really show, so people will know instantly scrolling through, oh, that's an open one, this is the sealed one. A couple things I didn't mention before, open albums, 4 subgrades: the cover, the spine, the record itself, the vinyl, and then the label on the vinyl. 4 subgrades, and then an overall grade. All right, now we're getting into the exciting things that VMG offers. This is our patented, very unique hinged case. So, Paul, we can show, we have the album slabbed on one side. Here, it folds into itself, so it's only about an inch thick. There's a magnetic seal here, so the case is securely once it's closed. There's a little bit of pressure to keep it closed so the case isn't flopping around. It gives it a nice sense of sturdiness and quality. Here, the vinyl is slabbed first. It's in an inner sleeve, and then ultrasonically sealed in the vinyl case. Same label each side. Something I didn't mention on the other 2, it's on every single one of our labels. We have a QR code that'll take it to the website to verify the certification number, the grade, the album, other details of the album, year, artist, etc. We want to folds into each other. Easy storage on the shelf. And these are, now this is something we were very excited about. This took us a very long time to perfect and get it the way we wanted. A lot of back and forth. We finally got it. We think it's perfect. And the nice thing about our design is it's not limited to just single albums.
So another exciting part of this merger is it allows us to do something to solve a conundrum we had since our launch. One of the things that the great vinyl community had questioned us on was, what about grading the audio? And admittedly, the 3 of us who have been collectors of everything since we were born, and of vinyl records for a couple decades, the 3 of us are not, true audiophiles. And so we didn't feel comfortable grading audio. So that's where AAGS came in. And we thought, what better way to, solve a problem than to get the expert in audio grading and have them join our team. And so by teaming up with AAGS, we become the first, or actually along with AAGS, who was the first company to start grading audio. We now become, as a merged company, the only company allowing for audio grading. So on this album, what you'll see is that we have the typical Hinged album. However, there's an audio grade. This album was played and listened to by AAGS and expertly graded and given a 9.0 audio grade. And this is an option for anyone who wants not only their album to be physically graded, but also the audio graded. And so we're super excited about this. It just rounds out our company and another option for collectors. And it's just another thing that we can offer the vinyl community, because what we don't want to do is we don't want record grading to completely eliminate the beauty of listening to albums. In fact, I would say not only can you get an audio grade, but you can keep listening to your album. The other thing that we are doing is that we are providing high quality digital backups in the form of ownership would be in the form of an NFT. So the ownership of that audio backup would be encoded on the blockchain, and you would have the right to call yourself the single owner of the only single audio of your album. So if you have a AAGS 9.0, VMG 9.0 album, you can say you are the single owner. It's proven on the blockchain, and that NFT would link to the audio, so you could play it for others. You can't transfer it outside of your NFT. You can transfer the NFT or sell the NFT in addition to selling your album, but you are the only one who gets access to that audio, and you are the single owner.
And if it wasn't said, I want to reiterate, the audio backup is not scrubbed or adjusted in any way. So it's truly unique to yours, which we think will add value through the NFT over time, where there's that true uniqueness, true one of one. Every hiss, pop, scratch that may be on the vinyl, your vinyl, is picked up in the audio backup, which makes it unique and truly one of a kind. We have one more, so same label, but just another option that we offer. So it's not limited to singles, like we said. The case, we have room for a double, and the coolest thing is this hinge, right? We could have both vinyl all slabbed together and hinged, and this can theoretically go on and on and on. However, it folds right into each other. So we have vinyl, first vinyl, you can see the beautiful white wax. Second vinyl, transparent red. It's not hidden anywhere. You can see it, enjoy it. And the case, now this folds out. It's a big display piece, folds right into each other, about 2 inches thick. You can lay it on its side. It's sturdy. It's symmetrical. It's something we're super excited about, and we think it's truly unique option to the collectors.
And just to jump in here, something I love about the VMG cases, the ones that are hinged, is when you open and close it, there's a click. You could feel it, and because of the magnets that are embedded into the plastic. You guys did a wonderful job designing this. It feels so good to do, and it looks so good. I'm just so proud to be a part of this, and I know that you guys are very proud of what you were able to accomplish with the design. You worked really hard on that, so definitely super happy to be working together on this. Just to go over a couple of the additional things that AAGS can bring to the table now, as we are one company, is the fact that we can do sticker removal. Sticker removal seems like a basic thing. It's hard to do, especially when you're dealing with something as delicate as vintage shrink or vintage paper. And so that's where stickers go on vinyl records generally. And so we've been able to perfect our techniques over time, and happy to bring that service to the VMG family. So, for example, sometimes it's just not a sticker, it's like sticker residue, which causes problems, but also a modern sticker you may want to have removed. It's up to those who are collecting if they want to keep the original vintage price tags on there. And we're probably going to have other videos in the future talking about specific things like that, like stickers. But, for example, if you had a Nirvana Nevermind and you had a sticker, a price tag right over the baby's face, you're probably going to want to have that sticker removed. We can do that for you. That's not a problem. Shrink cleaning, which is like a dry cleaning for the shrink. That's something else that we have been able to perfect over time. You get these records that have been in bins since the 60s, 70s, 80s, and they get dirty. Even though it's smooth, clear plastic, it gets dirty. So being able to enhance your grade, possibly by having it dry cleaned, that's a great way to go, and that's something that we can offer. Also dry cleaning the paper, so the actual sleeve, if there are white spots that have stains on them, sometimes we can get those stains up with some dry cleaning techniques. These dry cleaning techniques are popular in the comic book world, and so this is not something that is revolutionary that we do, but we can do it for the vinyl record collectors. And these are services that we could also do for soft cleaning, or soft grading as well. So it's something to be noted. And ultrasonic cleaning of the records themselves, I would say that we would highly encourage anyone grading a complete record that has the vinyl open, is to have it ultrasonically clean. That's just especially if it's really dirty, and especially if you're going to be having it in the clamshell, you could view both sides of it, have it cleaned. That will increase your chances of getting the maximum visual grade. But especially if you're having it audible graded, we highly recommend having it ultrasonically cleaned, even if you've already had it ultrasonically cleaned before. So that's something that we can do. We have a nice fleet of very high-end ultrasonic cleaners. We have a proprietary recipe that we use to clean. You have the cleaning chemicals put together for the cleaning process, and each record gets ultrasonically cleaned approximately 4 times throughout this process. It's a very in-depth process, but it is such a thorough clean. And if you're doing this for your soft grading or just as a part of our cleaning subscriptions, which I'm going to touch on in a minute, you're never going to get a better sound out of your records. It is phenomenal.
And Drew, I just want to add to everything that you're saying is, so all of the services that we offered individually before are still going to be available to our customer base. This merger, however, makes it that much more efficient and more cost effective for the customers. So like you said, and I echo your statement, strongly recommend, especially some of the higher end records, or really any record, prior to sending it in for grading, send it in for cleaning. And now that's a one-stop shop. So we'll set that up, and you'll see on the website where it'll be more cost efficient, both from a shipping perspective and an overall, a cleaning and grading will be less expensive than doing 2 individually, separately through 2 different companies. So it's a benefit. We offer the customers a better experience overall by combining the things that you're good at, the things we're good at, and hopefully make a wider range of folks more satisfied.
Sure. Yeah, thanks for mentioning that. And that brings us to the last service that we're going to be really hitting on in the near future. We're going to be putting that up on the website, and that is custom encapsulation. So I happen to know a little bit about working with a museum grade acrylic and making that. So if you have a box set that is a strange dimension, or it's something cool about vinyl is that it's not always in a 12 by 12 inch square. It's sometimes it's in a different packaging. We'll be able to offer customize encapsulation in the future. So so that's something that we're super excited about.
And to add to that, Drew, before you go on, in the near future, the next few months, plans are also in the works to add in 10-inch and 7-inch grading and encapsulation, which will follow the same cost-effective, beautiful hinge design. But man, I cannot wait to get, some of the 7-inch 45s, which so classically came in these little paper sleeves and you can't find them in good condition anywhere. To get that into a nice, translucent plastic sturdy clamshell and open it, almost, like an old CD jewel case. They're going to be super, super pretty and, great to store and great to collect. So we're super excited about that too.
This is a tangent a bit, but the thing with 45s that I don't love is storing them. They're not symmetrical at all, and it looks like it doesn't look great on a shelf. By having these in a nice, rigid, uniform case, I think it'll make 45s as an overall collection just look a lot cleaner.
Right. And Drew, I want to throw you a little softball here because I in collecting albums, Discogs, fantastic website. I've gotten stuff off eBay. I've gotten stuff obviously in record stores. And one of the trickiest things to do is to order anything and trust that the grade that you're getting or the grade that's being offered by the seller is legitimate, or even that the album that they're offering is authentic, or that the album that they're offering is the album they actually think they're offering. And a lot of times it's so difficult to identify albums, identify pressings, identify years, identify countries, that you end up ordering something from across the world and you get something you don't want. So not only does physical grading and encapsulation help to preserve and ensure that you're ordering and collecting the thing that you want, but what I love about AAGS is that it's not just, now that we've added AAGS and audio grading and soft grading, it is not limited simply to physical grading. If there's an audiophile out there who wants to be sure that what they got from Discogs is what they're supposed to be getting, or there's a seller that wants to ensure that what they're selling is truly a near mint piece of vinyl that someone can listen to and love, or is truly a fantastic pressing that sounds great. They don't need to encapsulate it necessarily. They could do the soft grading and have you grade it and have the audio graded. It is super cost effective. And it just adds another layer of trust between sellers and buyers, that if you are going out there looking to spend $100, $200, $300 on an album, you've had a third party physically grade it, and you have a third party, if you so choose, you grade the audio, so you can be sure you're getting exactly what's being offered by the seller, and the seller can be sure that they're offering exactly what the buyer wants. So it really is a perfect blend of everything that a vinyl collector would want, whether it's the physical encapsulation, the audio grading. Our goal is to try to make if we said from the beginning, is not to disrupt vinyl collecting. It is to support vinyl collecting, is to be an asset, and not to overthrow the world, but to really support the world of vinyl collecting in every way we possibly can. And this merger does exactly that. So we're super pumped.
Yeah, and you mentioned Discogs. Something that is interesting about our company, I know that I've been a collector for vinyl for many, many years, and I've started to become a little bit of a database of my own, to be able to determine which pressing is which, and be able to decode all the dead wax matrix codes and things like that. So we don't rely heavily on Discogs database to be able to get our grades and to authenticate. That's built up over experience with our team here at VMG, and it's something that we're very proud of too. So yeah, absolutely. Good. Well, let's talk a little bit about, 'cause I'm pretty sure that there's people wondering, hey, I've submitted things to VMG, I've submitted things to AAGS. What's going to happen now that this merger is taking place with my current submissions? So current submissions right now are going to be filled as they were. You don't need to worry. Everything is on track, and we're going to go ahead and fill those orders and get those sent out to everybody. All new orders are going to take place with the new VMG case, the new VMG label. So that's how we plan to move forward on that. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out, contact us. We're happy to answer your questions for you.
Yeah, and that's true about contacting us, pretty much not only about those questions, but about any questions. We are committed, absolutely, all four of us are absolutely committed to ensuring that you get, what you want when it comes to authenticating and grading your album. It is, I think that one of the reasons it's taken so long for vinyl album grading to reach the mainstream is because it's frankly so difficult. And I think of all of the collectibles, whether it's comic books or baseball cards or action figures, I think vinyl records is the toughest. It's really hard for non-experts to figure out what it is that they're even have, that they even have in their hands. We've talked to people who have wanted to get into vinyl collecting, and they go on Discogs for 5 minutes and they're so overwhelmed they can't figure anything out. It's just such an overwhelming hobby, and it takes so long, to understand and realize what you're holding and what you're playing and what you're trading and what you're buying. And so our commitment is we're not going to leave any stone unturned. If you send us something and we're, we will not just simply, look it up on Discogs, and if we can't find it, say, it is what you said it is, or, too bad. If it takes us weeks, if it takes us, a month or two, we'll be in contact with you, but we will, not leave a single stone unturned. We will be looking in every way and doing all the research we possibly can to figure out what you have, so you could be, happy with your submission and your record, and that you and anyone you might want to sell your album to or trade your album to or bequeath your album to can all trust, that they're getting exactly what they think they are. So, integrity, honesty, hard work, research, we're all dedicated to all of those. This isn't simply a, turn it around and make a profit business. This is, like I said earlier, being an asset to the vinyl community.
Cool. And we talked about it before a little bit. So we have a molded case that's mass produced with the utmost quality control. And then we also that are ultrasonically welded. So we can get a lot more product graded and pumped out in a day's time than I was before. I was jealous of VMG's turnaround time. I'm glad to be a part of the company now. Are we prepared to talk about price? Because I feel that our pricing is industry changing as well. I'm very proud of our pricing. You guys want to talk about that?
Yeah, absolutely. When we came up with this idea, we wanted it to be something that could be done in volume at a price point that collectors could get anything graded, not just a First State Butcher album, but if they had a Sentimental album or something, if they wanted, all the Def Leppard albums from the 80s, UK pressing, something that aren't necessarily expensive albums, but would really look cool encased and slabbed. We wanted a price point that was not prohibitive to just the high-end vinyl. So for a sealed album, it's $39.99. That's a single slab in the sealed album in the inner sleeve, labeled as sealed. That's our least expensive option for encapsulation. The second option would be opened albums, which is more work. So you're grading both the sleeve, the cover, the vinyl, the label, the spine. It'll have all four subgrades, but it'll be encapsulated in a single case. That'll have that black bar instead of the gold bar to differentiate. That is $47.99. Then we get into our hinged albums, which we think is the coolest the coolest part of encapsulation, so you can see both the vinyl and the case. That's $64.99 for a single album. Double albums, because now you have three slabs and 2 hinges, is an additional $20 at $84.99. If we get into triples and higher, please email us for pricing, and we'll come up with something that's that'll work on a case-by-case basis for some of the outliers. So I think overall, then the audio grading option and the NFT option are additional add-ons that range from, it's on our website, the price points, but between $49 and $59.99, depending on single, double, if you want the backup, just the audio grade. There's many different kind of options that people can pick. So we kind of wanted to lay that out to whatever the customer wants and suits their needs. They can play with, customize it the way they want. So they're only spending money on things that they want, that they believe adds value, or something that, they are desired to have.
So for cleaning, it's $9.99 to have your record ultrasonically cleaned. That's for a one-off. Some guys have called me up and said, hey, can you do my whole collection? And we can do that on a case-by-case basis. One of the best ways to do that is through our ultrasonic cleaning subscription service. So we will, you sign up, you get charged $35 a month, and then we will send you out a carton. And it's kind of like the old Netflix model. They would send you the disc, and then you would send it back in their own envelope. So we would send you out some custom cartons with all the shipping material built in, your shipping labels paid for and included, and you send 5 records at a time, and we clean them up. We provide a cool little sticker that you could put, either just kind of slip it in. We don't peel it and stick it. So if you want to just stick it in the sleeve, you can. Or if you wanted to peel it and stick it on the inner sleeve, you can do that as well, just to mark that has been ultrasonically cleaned, the date, and by who. So we're happy about that. So that's another option. And then as far as our soft grading, it's just $15.99. So you send in the album, $15.99. It'll be graded, put into a poly sleeve, sealed shut with a grading label. And when it's time to open it up and listen to it, or it's to sell it and somebody wants to open it up, you just peel it. It'll destroy the grading label, but at that time it's ready to be listened to, and you have that confidence that it is a good piece. So that's what our pricing is on those services. As far as other announcements, we are going to be doing a lot more video content as a company. We want to talk to people about music. I mean, we love music. We want to talk about music. We want to talk about vinyl. We want to talk about some of the cool things that we've seen in our history of collecting. Talk to other people about the cool things that they've seen. One of the neat parts of this announcement is, as a part of this merger, we're going to be launching a podcast. We're super excited about that, and that's something that's going to be announced very soon. So keep an eye out on our social media, and we'll get that announced. So, in conclusion, this merger is really marking a significant point in history for both of our companies, AAGS and VMG. And as we combine our strengths and expertise, we offer an unparalleled vinyl experience that's on the market today. We're so excited to be a part of that. You have no idea. We're committed to delivering exceptional services to our customers, and we want to be able to deliver exceptional products to our customers. That's our goal, is to just provide everyone with high quality services and products, and that's something that we hold very dearly to our hearts. So we're excited about that. Thank you all for joining us today. We look forward to embarking on this exciting journey together and hearing your thoughts. So please leave your thoughts in the comment section. Like and subscribe to the video. Stay tuned for updates. Make sure to subscribe to our podcast when it gets announced. And we wish you all a happy vinyl collecting experience.